Alright, I am recording, and I am back in Just Cause 4, which, by the way, the key for it was provided for the original review I did. But I'm back because, hopefully, before long, I will be, well, here, actually, let's keep that muted by being alt-tabbed. I will hopefully be going through this and some other games to collect performance data across different graphics cards. But first I want to go through, because I already did one of these videos, where I looked at, here, I can, the graphics quality analysis part 2. I already had a part 1 before, which was looking at the minimum acceptable, so it's like, you don't want to go below these levels, these options, because it's like you can really see the difference. Here we're going to do the complement to that, which I'm still fleshing out fully in my mind how I want it to work, how the criteria will be, which is the maximum acceptable. So the idea being that above this, it's like, okay, I can't see the difference, or it's screenshot differences, so it's, by that I mean, when you have if you were to have two screenshots, you'll be able to spot it, but when you're playing, you're not going to be able to spot it. And it's harder than you'd think, because I've already done two videos like this already, and some of them, yeah, it gets tricky, because I'm still nailing down exactly what I'm thinking, but that's part of the reason why I want to do these videos, where it's just me going through it, so if there's any question as to my reasoning, you can watch it and see what I think. Alright. I just realized I actually shouldn't have started this video just now. Oh wait, that should be on high. I shouldn't have started this video just now, because I should be somewhere else, because this is not one of the locations. Yes. Oh. Did not realize I needed that. Alright, okay, so here's what I will do then. And hey, did it need that before? Huh. Alright, that's very interesting. I don't have a note that that the texture quality needs a restart. But looking at the notes here, and by the way, here, some of this stuff I already, based on the notes I had before, I can tell you what already I'm thinking for the quality stuff, maximum quality. For anti-aliasing, temporal SMA is the maximum quality. Yeah. Oh, I never actually put down something. Oh, that's right. On is what I had for the minimum. It's just because you got off, FXA, and temporal SMA, and it was just at off. You can definitely see the aliasing, so you want to go to one or the other. So it's like on is basically do whichever you want. So minimum is just have it there. Temporal SMA, I've put together an article where I went through and looked through a whole bunch of anti-aliasing stuff. Haven't submitted it yet and all that. This will be coming out after, I'm sure, though. So I can talk about it. The temporal SMA does a much better job than FXA in at least one spot, where some polygon popping is the kind of aliasing artifact that I saw there. And with none in FXAA, it is present. With SMAA, it actually did address it. That's not to say that there isn't still some spots that you can find aliasing, but it does do the better job, so yeah, go with whichever. Oh, and by the way, I'm running with Radeon Chill, and its lower limit is 45 frames per second. So it's like, I'm just noticing that there's a little bit of stutter to the Welcome to Just Cause 4 banner on the bottom. It may just be because of that. Like, if I turned that off, it may be better, but for this, I don't need the high performance, and also, this is a game, 45 FPS, it's perfectly playable and enjoyable. Not all games are like that, but this is one. Alright, I will mess around with texture quality in a little bit. I'm just going to move to somewhere else, because this isn't one of the areas I visited in the previous video. I want to try to keep to those. The anisotropic level, the notes I have on that, here it is. Even 2x makes a difference. Not seeing benefit of 16x, so 8x would probably be best to stop at. So I basically already found that, but I also have 8x as the minimum acceptable. And I don't remember exactly, I haven't rewatched the video, but I do remember that, yeah, there were differences that could be spotted with this. And maybe I should actually say that 2x is the minimum. I can look at that later. But, here, let me That's it for my commentary before trying to move. No, I'm trying to remember what the button... No, that's not it. What is the button for bringing up the map? Is it one? Yes, it is. Okay. Ah, damn, I don't perfectly remember where it was. It's a long... Actually, I think it is this one. There. I'm just gonna fly over. Oop, this one. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, one... I prefer to fly over there manually so that, you know, enjoy all this stuff. But yeah, one issue with the whole, you know, I finish playing one game to review and then I'll at minimum take a break from it typically. It depends on the game. But I will also like may need to go on to another game, and man, let me see, I know that they were near each other. I don't remember how near though. It's like I had Hitman 2, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Just Cause 4, and Darksiders 3 was also somewhere in the mix here. It's like all three of these are third-person games. And Darksiders 3 doesn't have a map, but the others do, and it's like all of them have different controls. It was so annoying. So please forgive me as I try to remember how the hell to get around in this. The actual playing, no, I remember how to do this stuff, but like pulling up the map, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to remember at times. But yeah, I mean, I can see it, I hope it's coming through in the video, that there's a lot of aliasing with that bridge. And this is actually... Yeah, I mean, I am on the temple, yeah. So here, let's have that off. And look at that. That is, if I would take a screenshot of this, or you would see that the railings actually disconnect. That there are breaks in there. And if I go to FXAA, it's softened, but that, like, well, the whole thing is actually kind of softened, but that aliasing is still present. Okay, down there. Apply. And now they do actually connect. There's still some aliasing there. It's not great, but it is connected. So... And that is what SMAA is supposed to do. It's a morphological solution, so it tries to, based on what is in the image, the final image, because it is a post-processing method, it's a filtering method. It tries to figure out what was the original geometry, and then blend accordingly. So it was recognizing, hey, that's a diagonal line that goes this distance, let's try to, you know, have that there. Whereas none obviously doesn't do that. It can miss things, and there's subpixel details, which that railing at that distance was, and FXAA doesn't really try to do anything either about such aliasing. Alright. But yeah, I mean, I can still see some aliasing, and I want to say that when I first started playing the game, and it's probably in the review playthrough as well, my commentary on that when first starting to play, I noticed the aliasing, even at temporal SMA, and it was like, oh my god, this is so bad. But look, within an hour or two, it's like, okay, I don't even notice it anymore. And it's also, I think, just situational. Like here, this environment, there's so many things that do have the finer detail to them that it can alias, but other games not so much. Other places, other locations, it's not so bad. Something else I actually want to mention, but I'm just waiting until we get over here. Oh, that was dangerous, actually. Okay, I think... Yes, this is it, because I remember that we had the waterfall here. And... yeah, I want to pull over to this waterfall, and this is one of those things that is actually kind of sad. So that water does not look that good. It is flat. It's just smudgy and muddy with the reflection. You know, it really doesn't look that great. And I was hoping that was actually a bug, because if we come down, I mean, even here it should be the case. But in the ocean, I know it is. Or at least it had been. Like, there's actually some surface to it. Now, right here, it actually looks more like it's just a normal map. But it's something that is giving it character and definition. And... I mean, that looks so much better. It's like there's actually something there. It's not just this flat surface that has maps put on top of it for everything. But because it had been like water detail, I want to say, and they changed it to ocean detail in a patch, and that was that made me sad. Because like that probably means that the other stuff isn't going to be addressed, or at least not soon. And it's been a while since the game came out, so not soon is, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll quickly go through the anisotropic filtering, since there's the road right here that I do remember. This is where I had looked at it, because roads are nice, because you would have the appropriate angle to them. Also, this one, because we have the stripes on it, is helpful as well. So I'll just quickly go through that. So 1x would be, yeah, nothing. And if you look, I mean, right there, that the details some of those details are just gone. 2x. It's better. I'm actually not sure where else. It might also be over here that we'll notice some changes. That's not what I wanted. I didn't really spot any difference going back down to 2x. Alright, so let's try 4x. And see, now the stripes are going much further down.
Yeah.
And we can... That's kind of funny that the jumping exposes it too. 8x. And that is so much better than 4x. It truly is. That was 16x though. I need to compare that to 8x. 8x almost looked better. Yeah, that's interesting. The 16x, it looked like things were, when jumping, so I should be seeing further, weren't coming out quite so well. Okay, let's try looking this way too. This is at 8x, as I recall. Okay. So it looks like you can basically go the full distance, can see that 16x. And at 8x, it is shorter. I don't see the detail there quite so well, but it's... Yeah, so the maximum is 16x. So... does detail at a distance, but is still not huge difference. So it isn't just screenshot difference, and also it's anisotropic filtering. I have never known it to be a hard thing for graphics to do. Right now, I want to just decide, do I want to... Oh, that is weird. Did you guys catch that? Yeah, that is so weird. Look right there. You can see the stripes? They're not closer to me, but as I move, they appear. The mip-maps are wrong. Alright, let's see how this looks. I guess they are kind of there. That is weird. That is very much something I never expected to see. You know, it actually seems to have stopped, though. Let's go back to the 4X. Oh, but...
Did we get the...
Well, that actually might be intentional, though. So say I can still see one up there, and hang on, let me also just... No, you don't. Is that an option? Yeah, okay. So you can't see the cursor is what I was checking on. Yeah, that might be semi-intentional. I could see it where they want the lines to appear at a certain distance away, even when it's like, well, they're not actually there, because clearly they're not here. But for when you're driving, it may be beneficial. But that is... I mean, they are up here. But then, like, down here, I mean, like, that one's, like, not even present. Did that thing just hit a bird? But yeah, so see, like, right there, you can see him. And it's continuing to follow. It's like, this is into spots where you couldn't see them on the road when you're right there. So that's... I need to make a note of that. That's separate from this, though. From what I'm currently doing, is what I mean. I didn't make a folder for this. Right. Notes. Notes in... Where the hell am I? Uku... Let me do this. Chaluka. Cool. Okay. Cool. There. That... how do I want to put this? Building between map levels. It's actually adding a detail not present at the highest level. I actually don't know if it is the highest level. I don't know what the ordering is to map levels. That anti-aliasing article I mentioned, mip-maps are actually used for helping with texture anti-aliasing. So I kind of know what's going on here, and I'll explain it. I just want to finish writing this note out first. Okay, there. Alright, so what do I have new? Deathstalker rifle, anything else? I just want to clear. Cars, I don't actually... Deathstalker, what did I get? The fact that the old Deathstalker make me kind of wonder. Okay, so... Need to explain what mip-maps are, in case you're unsure. What the hell are you doing? So... Many assets, not limited to textures, you can do this with various things. Like meshes as well. Instead of having it where... Like at this distance, that's still the highest resolution texture being shown there. Instead, you're using a lower resolution version of it. The next level in a mip map would be a quarter resolution, so half on each dimension. So that would be loaded up instead, because you don't need the full thing loaded in there. You don't need the full thing to process. It's far away. And that would also be true for like all the way over there and over there. Like this actually probably is a lower quality mesh of that mountain because of how far away I am. What the hell were you doing? Anyway, I'm talking to the helicopter, by the way, not somebody in real life. So yeah, so that's how that would work. And you need to filter though, because what if this distance here, like here, that clearly is less detailed than here. Well, let's say that this is level A and that's level B. I'm using those because I have no idea where the levels would actually be, but just A and B, N and N plus 1. Well, what do you do right here, where it's between them? Well, the answer is you need to filter between them. You need to somehow blend them together to get what would be appropriate, and there's multiple ways of doing that. There's bilinear, which would actually have a hard line going from one to the other. Trilinear, which should be more of a gradient, so it would be smoother. But those work nicely when it's like that, when I'm looking straight at it, and it is isotropic. So if I move the camera like a foot that way or a foot that way, it's the same distance on the texture. Because it's... what the hell is going on here? So it's parallel to the camera plane. But when you have something that isn't isotropic, is anisotropic and isotropic, like down here, it becomes harder. Because you need to... What anisotropic filtering does is it increases the number of texture elements, texels, that it will sample when it does the filtering. So with 2x, it adds... See, when I looked at this, it adds like 2 pixels to the top and bottom. So instead of it being a quad of pixels 2x2, it would become 2 wide and 4 tall. 4x would be larger, 8x, 16x larger still. 16x would be the highest, typically. I don't think I've ever seen a 32x. But, yeah, so it does that, so it can increase the number of samples going into the decision there. But it's still going between different mip-map levels. And what I think is going on here is that the level... So that would be the lower resolution level back there. This is the high resolution one. That level has the lines in it. But this level, because it's the higher quality, and this is a very broken up road, it doesn't. It loses that. Because those have just been worn away. But the filtering between the low level with and the higher level without ends up resulting in them being there. And there would be some weighting based on the distance. So this isn't like the actual boundary between them. The boundary may be up here. It's just up here. Or here, let me... Okay, so right about here, how it's... And actually, I can just move the cam up and down. I don't have to move Rico. Like right here, it's gone. Right here, it's present. So right in the middle here, it's filtering between these different levels. Okay, so level B, level A, it's trying to combine them. And which am I at? I don't remember which. So I'm at 8x currently, so it's doing that. And if I go up to 16x, then it actually doesn't have them here. Let me do that. That is one thing that is weird. That it is like resetting the filtering results sometimes. Okay, get out of the way. I'm trying to look over here. I actually don't see it anymore. Very, very odd. But one thing worth noting that I think that was in the presentation that concerned anti-aliasing that was talking about it. 16x doesn't necessarily mean... Okay, I can see them again. They're just in shadow there. Going to 16x doesn't necessarily mean that you have like the 16 more pixels or whatever that are being sampled. Or 8 more pixels, however more... Texels. Sorry, not pixels, texels. It just means that the graphics card and the driver and the engine are free to take up to that many. It's still possible that the system may decide, nah, I don't need more. I don't know what the logic is behind that. Just that, I mean that internal logic. So, okay. So with 8x, they are closer. What happens at 4x? Are they closer still? Yeah. So that is a very interesting effect. But it's also now we don't see them further back because that transition there's also fewer texels being used for that C, so n plus 2. So n plus 1, n plus 2. There's even fewer being used there, and it's getting rid of the white lines. Anyway, in general, yeah, there is a benefit there. Like, technically speaking, the maximum anisotropic level is going to be better than a lower one, but so that does make it the maximum acceptable. I'm unconvinced that it's really necessary. I think 8x is perfectly acceptable. And yeah, I would, purely by virtue of the fact that anisotropic filtering, I've never really seen a significant performance hit. You might as well turn it up to wherever you're comfortable. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I want that at 4x. Sorry, 8x. I read the 4x. Yeah. Because that's what the game doesn't have a high preset that I want, which is what I want to use for the reference. But it is, so I made one up. And that 8x is what I decided that would be what the high is. There are other places too that I could look at for the anisotropic filtering, but I mean, it's basically free. So, yeah, just go with it. Alright, next up would actually be the texture quality. So, let's do that, and it says that it wants to restart. So... yeah, let me look at that again. I want to see what it actually says. Restart to be applied. Alright, I'm going to try something, though. Because I could see theoretically... that theoretically this will do it. Alright, and head back over here. We'll see. I might actually need to restart the game, which is going to be painful. But at least it's only the one option. Yeah, what the hell, why not admit it? There is a part of me that wants to do the same process with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but like half of those options require restarting the game. And I mean, at least with that, it will restart for you. It's not like this, where it seems like I'm going to need to manually go in and restart it.
There's an undercover Black Hand operative looking for a ride nearby.
But
Why don't you
yeah,
grab
okay,
the car
so
they're
that's
expecting and pick them up?
that's good. His jacket is clearly low quality, and his pants. So yes, that did change without needing to actually restart. And I don't think it was asking me to restart previously. That, however, still looks a high quality. That doesn't. Okay, now it does. See, I don't know. I may still need to restart, and I should. Just here, let me try this. Hang on. I'm just seeing if he changes or not. Yeah, I can see some change on him at least. But it might still be that the environment doesn't change. Alright, so... And I need to turn off the SMA, the temporal SMA, because at the frame rate combined with that, there's just enough of a blur there to make it annoying. Alright. Alright, so back to high, which actually this may be very high, because I think that's what I had set to before. Alright, so ocean detail. I'm just moving on to do the other ones, and I'll... Since the textuality needs to restart, I want to cover these others first. I am a little unsure about what exactly I'm looking for here, I will be honest. Okay, so there was foam on waves before that's gone now? Hang on, I'm just... Okay. I just want to look at the notes I had before. So turn that up to medium and... Interesting. The note that I had was saying that low was acceptable, but medium was, it did give a noticeable improvement. I'm actually not seeing an improvement over low, to be honest. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I need that boat. Sorry.
Hey, look out! Off we go.
That was interesting. Alright. So there are no apparent effects at low, so at medium, I still do not notice any apparent effects. Yeah, I'm not spotting a difference between low and medium at the moment. Alright, so let's try high. Okay, now there's definitely an effect. I'm getting the foam and such behind. I want to go back down to medium. Oh. And medium takes that away. Yeah, I don't feel like this is... I don't know what the difference is between low and medium. Okay, let's... That's not what I meant to do. I got an idea for what a difference between medium and high might... Sorry, high and very high is, so... No, it doesn't seem to be the case there. I was thinking maybe like the, how long that, the wake effect, the foam, is present could be it. Alright. I'll sit here, this is at very high. I'm just trying to look around. See stuff. Hang on, are those? See, there's a part of me that almost wants to say that those might actually be it's possible that those are meant to be like reflections of the clouds, but I don't think it's actually accurate. Yeah, I cannot tell you what the difference is. Alright, so high is what I'm gonna say. So high because cannot see impact of very high. And this is the only no, I get the one of the other places will be that. Yeah, and don't see very high and very high improvement with the notes I had before, but I do need to change what I had before. Too high. I had low as acceptable. That's not the case anymore. Low and medium appear the same now. Oh wait, I'm doing that kind of backwards. And don't worry, all these notes and such, I'm gonna have them up publicly somewhere. Difference. Watercraft. Very high. Have the wake, but cannot distinguish between them. Alright. There. And I may also need to change the texture quality stuff as well. Alright, ocean tessellation. Let's see how that looks. Bring that a bit closer here. I think I figured out roughly what it might be, but when I did this before, well, there is some there. I am unsure what the impact is, and I have a feeling if I look at the notes, yeah, unsure what it does. So yeah. Let me do that. Yeah, oh wait, I also want that off. I'll be honest, this doesn't look that bad. So I am thinking I want an aerial view. Yeah, unfortunately there is some artifacting because of screen space effects. You may have been noticing. Ow. Sorry, I want to get up high so I can make it apparent what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me see. And this is actually something that is worth talking about because it's, in theory, one of the advantages that ray tracing can have over certain other effects. I think I may be too high. But I was seeing it. the issue with some screen space effects... Okay, right here, there's some oh, damn it stopped. Basically, if anything is screen space, the danger is that means it has to be... Okay, you can kind of see it happen on the right, I think. As I turn it, it stopped again. But basically, if something is occluded, if it isn't on the screen, it can't be used in a screen space effect, like screen space reflections. And some games do that very badly. Not all games, though. Hitman 2 definitely does a very nice job with its reflections, but I don't recall if those were described as screen space or not. Okay, right here, you can see on both the left and right as I turn, the reflections of the water at a distance change. That's because the parachute is opaque currently, and so it is blocking the impact on the reflections of the things around. It also looked like there was maybe some temporal lag there, so they may also be using something temporal to help with it, some temporal filtering and reprojection to help with it. But yeah, and right here, as it was sweeping by in front of the bridge, and you can also see it in the back, that's what screen space stuff can suffer from, because it only looks at what you're seeing here. It's not taking into account what is behind the parachute that's been culled, has been discarded because it's behind the parachute. Makes it a lot simpler to work because there's less you need to work on. Ray tracing, however, isn't limited to what's just in your view. It can, because the rays can bounce out of that view and still provide you information. So that can be an advantage to ray tracing, but it's ray tracing is still currently just a hybrid and is still being figured out. All right. I'm going to say no for the maximum acceptable. No, because still don't know what it does. It's like, I cannot see a difference. What the hell am I supposed to do then? Alright, let's do that. Okay. It just looked like there was detail lost on the boat. I'm just not sure. Okay, and I'm seeing pop in here, so that is definitely undesirable. What did I put down before? Low's acceptable, can't find difference. That doesn't seem likely. But it's also possible that some things have, have been retuned. Oh yeah, the medium is so much better. I mean, that's how far away before it finally had some pop. So yeah, definitely medium is better than low. But I think... Alright, let me do this. See, this is something that you want to fly around for to help. And this is at low, and this is actually not too bad. With things coming in. So low is still acceptable. I don't need to change that minimum. What was it? I already did the Darksiders 3 video, and that one, it definitely... There was one that I did need to... That's right, the anti-aliasing. Because it was a weird artifact at medium for the anti-aliasing in Darksiders 3, and that got fixed. So I did actually get to change the minimum acceptable quality, which was an awesome thing to be able to do. What? How have I not been here before? Alright, the thing I'm trying to watch for is just the pop-in as he flies around. I mean, that is one thing about Just Cause 4 and Just Cause 3 to an extent, though I haven't played that for a while. Because of his ability to move around with the wingsuit, the transitions between the different levels is important. What am I at, high? I mean, I can see some, but it's not that bad. Question is, can I see a difference at very high? Because if I can't, then it's also kind of hard to get the same path, though. Okay. This is not the best spot because there's so much stuff in the foreground for occluding. The trees and such are doing that. Is there somewhere around here, or am I gonna have to go to a different location? The third location, it looked like, was one of the was a base. That might be better. Oh, actually, you know what? That might work. This might work. This might work. In which case, then, this will be a lot easier because I can do it from this beach here. Okay. Oh, hello, Yak. Goodbye, Yak. I don't know why, I just felt like doing that. Okay, so... Oh, crap. Who's attacking me?
Enemy presence. Reinforcements are inbound.
What? Just... I don't know. Okay. This is at high, I think? Yeah. So I need to be this close for all of the top of the waterfall to appear.
This is command. Hostile still active. Eyes open.
I'm actually gonna fly away, so I'm reasonably sure that that has reset itself.
Your post. Target is gone.
I didn't realize that yak was so important. Okay, so you can see that it's gone. So let's see how close I need to be with a very high for it to reappear. This is looking to be about the same distance. Damn. But that... I am unsure. I'm unsure what the difference is between high and very high. Which is what I'm looking for. Right, but medium... Let's see if this is noticeable or not. It's also possible that, if at medium that's still like that, then, if it's still the same distance, then that just means this is a bad place to check. Yeah, so that's not what I should be using for checking. But it's also, like, if you look up here, that's still reasonably good detail. This is taking a long time, I know. it's just for moving around like this, which is kind of how you would be moving around. It's hard. It's just hard to tell. Yeah, you know, I'm barely even seeing the difference between medium and high.
My God, this isn't even mine.
What? Well, if it's not really yours, then
Over here.
take that, you thief.
Hey, Rico.
What the hell do you want?
Script is calling for this long one-shot of a high-speed pursuit. Can
You know what?
drive?
Driving
cool.
isn't a
We
bad
called you
spot
into the
to
Black Hand. They're on the way. Just,
try
you
to-
know, lose them.
God damn you people.
try to do level detail stuff, so... This is actually a bad way to go if they're still here. They're not, though. Yay.
Cool. Got some great shots out of that. Thanks
Alright.
for being a good sport.
Calling off search for hostile. Resume regular patrol.
Yeah, I see that. There was pop-in with the guardrail that I could see. And it's still seemingly present. Man, what is the handbrake? Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, now that's interesting. I back up, the level of detail comes close, and then when I stop, it goes back out.
Just call out C.
It's me again.
That is curious. I guess, I don't know. Okay, high is definitely further out. Still doing that thing, though. How does very high look? Okay, very high. Okay, I see it now. I do see the difference. Okay, so... Ooh, okay, so the note for this will be... Spotted... Helps if I spell difference correctly. Spotted difference. But is near screenshot difference level. So... I'm kind of wanting to leave it at high. And not say very high. I'll check this in other places too. Right. I'm gonna go back to the city, town over here. This places I can stop with the car very easily. Alright. What did I say before? Okay. So, medium is what I'd said is what you want previously.
Nice.
Yep. I wanted to run. I forgot he just is always running. Okay, so this is... Wow, that's very close. But low. Yeah, it's like that's a lower resolution shadow map. And you can even see it on him, his shadow. So yeah, that's why I said, yeah, you want to go to medium if you can, because that's a lot nicer. You're not seeing the popping so much, although do see it on that shadow. High is definitely better for that. But that distance is still not that great. Even very high isn't improving that distance, though the shadows do look much sharper. I could see some people saying that you want to go with high because it's blurred more. That's kind of funny. None of these cast shadows, those do. I actually want to quickly do that. Okay. So that's not really impacting the shadows. It could in some cases. Yeah. So good to know. This one's a little tricky. Yeah, I want to get on top of a building for this. Alright. This is medium? Yeah. This distance I don't really see that big a difference. Yep, that's not what I wanted. At this distance, I don't see it. The heck? That could be a weird frame rate thing. Alright. Yes, that is a little softer on the shadow edges, which some people may find desirable, so you may actually want shadow quality of high versus very high, and even medium is... that softness is kind of nice to have, but there is a little bit of popping, though, so the geometry of that shadow is changing just because of the position of the camera. And I'm not touching the camera, this is just... it has certain breathing movement to it. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Because of... so it's the sharpest right around me, but if I move down, you'll see the sharpness of the shadow moves down too, because that means that I'm closer to it, so it's being drawn better. That is kind of funny. That actually might be useful, though. Because the space is showing me the level of detail range. So yeah, look at that. Medium is so much bigger. Wow. I mean, that's even covering the tree. I mean, sorry, high is so much bigger than medium. And then very high. At very high, it almost covers the entire roof. But I feel like... yeah. Okay, so... I think I know sort of what's going on here. Let me also quickly look at low, though. I'm just curious. Okay. That is actually fairly helpful. Alright. So this is what it looks like to me. Low and medium have the same level of detail distances as each other, but medium, the shadows looked a bit better defined. That also seems to be the difference between high and very high, where they have that same distance to them, that the shadows are accurate, you know, so here it's just, you know, like the immediate area around him, but go up to high, and now it's almost an entire roof. But if you look over to the edge, where it's still softer, and I'm just trying to think of how best to do that. I mean, it's like, so it's softer there. Going to very high, though, it seems like some of the shadows just become much harder on their edges. So, yeah, it looks like the difference between high and very high is the softness of the edges. So technically, there is a difference. Missed a space. Now I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Very high. But it is personal preference. It appears high and very high use the same detail distance levels, but very high has harder edges to the shadows than high. So if you want softer shadow edges, high is more desirable. This seems to be the same difference between low and medium. Though the distance levels are greater than, well, the LD distance is greater than, no, sorry, smaller than high and very high. Okay. So technically, yes, the very high is maximum acceptable, but it looks like it shouldn't be labeled high and very high. It kind of feels like. It feels like high is sharp, softened shadow edges. Very high is with harder shadow edges. There might be more to it than that, but I'm just not seeing it right here. Alright. So ambient occlusion, the screen space ambient occlusion off and on. I need to spot some way that actually demonstrates ambient occlusion. Okay, so right here it actually does. Yeah, that really does make a difference. So yeah, SSAO high is maximum acceptable. It's oh, sorry. Yes, it's not. Yeah. Difference is present. Previously, it so the minimum acceptable is low because while the difference is present, it's not necessary. That's not true for all games. Motion blur is personal preference, so that's just gonna be, you know, yes and no are the minimum maximum because it's up to you. Edge fade is also personal preference. So let me show you what that does quickly. Alright, so if you look up, I think it's actually all the way around the screen, but definitely at the top I can kind of see it. Unless they've changed it, which is possible. There's been at least one patch since I played it, so yeah. The edge fade is just basically adding a fade to black along the outer edge of the monitor. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, and you can definitely see it up at the top and the corners. I'm not sure why that's desirable for some people, but if it is, go ahead. If not, okay. That's just, you know, that's just up to you. Okay, I remember the global illumination. Trying to figure that out wasn't that easy. that's like the impact from it is actually pretty weak. That's what I remember noticing. So, part of it's just figuring out where the hell is a spot to test it. I can't really tell. I think I'm just going to skip that one for now. But I do remember that what I had seen was, so hang on. I'm trying to also set up for the screen space reflections. Was that there was a spot, it was actually a tank to blow up, that with the global illumination on, it was like better illuminated, even though it was in shadow, so it shouldn't have been illuminated. Okay, so we can see the grass is reflected in that. Now it's not. Boom, screen space reflections. Well, actually, hang on, why am I going somewhere else? Well, no, that's why. But, I mean, it's... The difference is present. Does it make a difference? Not necessarily. Okay, so that was the screen space effect that the parachute was messing with. There's certainly two, because screen space, this is screen space ambient occlusion, so screen space reflections are what are impacted by that, so I'm leaving global illumination on its own for now. Like empty for now. Yes. The difference is visible. So yeah, I mean, it's like, it is by definition for maximum acceptable. It's acceptable because... Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize that's actually supposed to be on. I'm partially losing my train of thought because I'm also trying to read ahead. Wait, what? I need to see that again. Yeah, and also we can see that it's impacting. So yeah, it's just... It is... Whoa! Sorry, that boat just popped out of the water. No, hang on a second. I'm basically done here. This actually might be the other spot I looked at here. Let me... Area special. No, oh no, that's Meteor Lab. That's not what I'm... That's it. Okay. Oops, I keep forgetting about that. There we go. So, and I am aware I still need to do the restarting on the texture qualities. And I will do that. It's a good thing I put in the thing. So, I remember with the bokeh depth of field that didn't make much sense to me. Because it was like controlling the heat distortion, which doesn't make sense. Why would that be controlling heat distortion? And that would be at the third spot that I'll test, which I think before was actually like the second place I went to was here. I'm gonna go here first. Yeah, let's just do that. And it's Yeah, bokeh depth of field shouldn't be impacting that kind of effect, I would think. I can be wrong. I mean, it's not like anything weird there. Me being wrong isn't that weird. And here's some railings that, again, can have, that the SMAAs can do a better job of preserving, of fixing than...
Phone out there.
Espinosa Telecom is the only company allowed in the market. The bills are...
Alright, I am trying to decide where I want to be looking for some of the stuff. And also, what is it that I even care enough to look at? Because some of the options, it's like, nah, I don't need to. I'm not touching edge fade again. It's like that is such a personal preference. So this is in shadow. That's actually kind of weird. Oh, that's actually funny. See, this is... Okay. Here it is. Okay, so see how... Oh man, even that... Wow. Okay, so you see how the shadow inside the engine in there is changing? That's because of the occlusion. Yeah, turn that off as well. Okay, so without any screen space effects, it just always looks like that. If I turn on screen space ambient occlusion, though, it's not so easy to tell. I guess it was mainly the reflection of the black behind it. That can stay on. But you can see here how, like, right here it looks really dark, like there's a shadow there. It's not, it's a reflection of that. But as it gets occluded from my moving the camera, like, yeah, you can very much tell it. So it's like here it's dark over by this side. But as I go like that, it clears. That's because of it being included, and then it gets dark again. Yeah. Ray tracing, in theory, can address that. Everything will come down to implementation, which is the case for everything anyway. Alright, so back to figuring out global illumination. Which, yes, spotting the difference might not be easy, because I remember it took me so long to spot any difference before. I'm saying, because it's like, global illumination, what does that even mean? I mean, does that turn the sun off? Because it's not off. I honestly do not know what is going on. Alright, but what I remember noticing before was, not here, I keep wanting to hit tab, but here, that I think it was actually right over here, that there were tanks like this, and their lighting changed. It actually became brighter with the global illumination on, even though it was in shadow. But it is just so hard to tell. And this is in shadow as well. In the shadow of that mountain. Yeah, what the hell do I have down for this? You know, I'm going with no for the maximum acceptable because still no idea what it does. So see no reason to turn it on. I'm sorry. I'm sure that it is a very nice effect. I don't know what it is though. I might not be looking in the right places for it. I mean, maybe it is like, oh, it's a wonderful effect. I just don't know where the hell to look for it. That's possible, but right now I can't see it, so that's a no for even maximum acceptable because I can't tell you it makes a difference. And if it doesn't make a difference, it doesn't count. I mean, even edge fade. It's like, that's a personal choice. That's a yes, though, because there's a difference. Alright, yeah, like how ocean tessellation, because I still don't know what it does. You know what? Everything is basically already figured out. It's just a texture quality, so I want to clear that. Oh, damn, I just realized that. Okay. The game doesn't always want to put you back here. Where the hell did I start? No, that's not it. Damn. This is so annoying. So that's where, yeah, that's where it was. And I remember it being, like, not that far away, wasn't it? See, the game likes starting you not actually where you left. At least once you've beaten the game. Oh, no. Damn, I can't do something like that. Alright. Have to do it the hard way then. Okay. Alright, so that is all where I want it to be for now. Yes, back. I'm gonna just go back in from the main menu. In theory, this is just going back to the main menu, because it appears to be unloading at least some parts of it. Okay, now it's loading again. In theory, it could be doing what it needs to do here to change the textures. But also, even if it hasn't, this is good because I can see the difference. I think it did make the change, actually, because that looks absolutely horrible.
Every day, spreading chaos, burning down the old world to give them a better one. Listo?
I mean, you can play at this. This still isn't that bad, but it's definitely worse than high. Alright. Oop, that's not what I want. I'm gonna come over here. You know, it didn't have the warning before, and I do remember that was one thing. No. Who the hell are you even? I don't know you.
Rico, over here!
Yeah, this is still the case. That is weird, because I remember noticing before that there was graffiti on the side of vehicles, and it...
Over here!
I gotta do this stunt for Garland where I'm thrown into the air. Don't ask. You got the gear to help me out?
Hang on. Okay.
So cool! Thank you, Rico!
I kind of want to leave it like that. See, this is one of those things where I don't remember all the controls. Oh. I don't know if that worked. Hang on. No, that's not what I want. Options. Controls. Nope, not controller. Damn it. I keep wanting to hit escape instead of control to go back. It is... I do not like some of these configurations, in case you were wondering. Cancel wheel in. Okay, it's F that I'm looking for. Whoops. Crap, now I forgot what it is to release. Say over here? Yes. 1, 2. It's just... Does this not count if she's in the water?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess she finally stopped. Sorry. Alright, man, even these textures are still looking fair. Okay, I am going, in order to help me determine for sure if there is a, if just going to the main menu was enough, I'm gonna pop this up to very high. The heck? Oh.
¿Qué más, parce?
Okay, so some of this stuff is... It looks like some of this is improved without needing to restart. That's just... And it's not uncommon, by the way, for textures to be one of those things that does require a restart, because it may need to load up new things in memory. It's still... This is tolerable, so the minimum of low I'm sticking with. Medium actually looks fairly good for that. Yeah, this is why you need anisotropic filtering. This is actually a very good spot for showing that. So yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. 4x is actually really good here. $8x is better, and then let's see, 16x. Yeah, 16x is a lot better. Because it's just those lower level maps. They're not keeping the transparency. So it looks like it's solid down there, even though up here it's not. That's mip-maps, that's their beauty. Alright. There. I'm just... I need to find something. Yeah, there is this, but I feel like this isn't gonna see a tremendous change. Yes, from low to basically anything, I think we can spot that change. No, actually, yeah, that's helpful. The grading is also something that at low is can see the change. High definitely does look better to me. I'm gonna need to go back down to, I'm just, the corrosion spots there were dirt. I don't remember if those were on high as well. Okay, so yeah, there is a difference there. I can see that. They are here, but high is not as well detailed. Okay. Okay, and also, it's probably gonna be the case on this side of the guardrails as well. Yeah, it looks like they're a little bit sharper. Alright, boy, I'm glad I don't actually have to be restarting this constantly. Yeah, so very high is the maximum acceptable. A visible difference between high and very high. Still somewhat discretionary. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. It's still kind of up to you. So I just that off. High, very high. Alright, so that's that. Let me do this though. That's not it. This is it. It's in the desert that I want to try to look for the heat distortion effect. Not bad, got over a kilometer fall there. Okay, bokeh is on, isn't it? Yes, okay. I just need to find it or cause it. This will actually be a fairly easy way to cause it. Oh crap. That thing came for me. Okay. Nope. Need to make sure that one explodes. So I'm hoping that at least one of them is going to leave something burning. These might work. They might not, though. Yeah, not really. Alright. If nothing else, I like blowing stuff up. That's part of the fun of the game. Alright. Was it this one? There's one of these where the, global illumination was... Yeah. So you can even see it in the background a little bit. So you turn that on, and now it's much lighter, but it's like... We're in shadow. Because the sun is up there, so this should... Oh. Who is shooting?
Contact acknowledged. We're sending a unit now. Additional Black Hand units are on their way.
There you are. This isn't your base. Why are you here? I remember that happening a lot. I shouldn't stay here. Alright, oh crap, and they're shooting that. Well, actually, in a way, that's not so bad.
Command, we are lost visual. Please advise.
Acknowledged. Target is at large. Re-establish visual. We've lost the target. Stand down for now.
Oh, and that's gonna blow as well. Oh, that was one of these things. It just fell over. Alright. So let's see. Okay, so we can see that. Heat distortion around me. Oh, it's still there. It's so hard to actually spot what the bokeh depth of field is doing in this game. Oh, okay, there. Now we do see it. Okay, so yeah, that kind of comes down to personal choice. Because it looks like that's... Oh, hang on just a second. Okay, so we can see some like heat distortion up there, which makes sense. It physically would be there. And without it, it isn't there. Alright. I'm unconvinced on this section though, right here. If the bokeh depth of field was doing much there, but there is some there, so... yeah, I mean, it's no for minimum, yes for maximum, because for the, yeah, maximum acceptable quality. Because is there a difference? Yes. Is it significant? No, but it's up to you. It's, you know, that's not just screenshot difference. So, I'm not touching those, because all three of these are personal choice ones. Screen space reflections. Oh wait, I'm going to turn that off too. Both of these do have an impact. Screen space reflections, I think, has a positive impact. Global illumination, I don't know. Positive or negative, I'm not seeing it enough to make it seem like it's worth it. And the one spot that I do see it here, I think it actually doesn't make sense. But so that can also be kind of personal choice. Motion blur and edge fade are completely personal choice. No ambient occlusion actually does not look that great here. So, but there is a difference from no, which is the minimum, so maximum is yes. Shadow quality, I think I would actually prefer it at high than very high. But there is a difference there, so it can be up to you. Level of detail factor, I wasn't seeing any difference with the very high, so high would be the maximum acceptable. Let me just check that. Yeah, that's what I have in my notes. Ocean tessellation, I'm still not seeing what the hell it does, so that's a no. Ocean detail, I'm not seeing the difference between high and very high, so it is high. I don't see much difference between low or medium, so minimum would be low then. From medium to high, I do see a difference, so high, but I can't see it for very high. Texture quality, it is present, but it's not necessarily that significant, so it's up to you. Temporal SMA, I do believe, is doing a better job than FXAA, and there is aliasing, so you do want one or the other. So it's, you know, temporal SMA is the maximum then. Anisotropic level, 8x I still think is perfectly fine. 4x is maybe pushing it. I mean, 4x is not going to be a bad minimum, but 8x is better, so that I'm going to leave as the minimum. 16x is better than 8x, but Oh, yeah, so it is maximum, but still, I mean, I've yet to see a game that in isotropic filtering is posing a performance issue, so yeah. So this is what the high would be. And is also, I think, where I'm going to have it be at for me, for my own playing. Alright. So that was this. I want to do something before leaving. I did go directly through those blades in case you were wondering.
Excuse me?
Of course I want to blow stuff up. Come on. It's a Just Cause game. That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it? There's a part of me, by the way, that wants to... Some people have been complaining about the game. That it's that Just Cause 3 looks better. It's like, it's been too long since I've played Just Cause 3 to say that. I still think, though, that like the tornado going through and that there's like no performance impact, that is very impressive. So I'm not going to knock this engine. But the water effects, okay, yeah, I'm knocking it for that. But I'll stand by what I said in the review for the conclusion. It feels like it's another Just Cause game. It doesn't feel like it's really something tremendously new and amazing. So, yeah. It's not a bad thing, it's just not a good thing to say for it. I wish I could say amazing, best Just Cause game ever. Can't say it. Just Cause 3 still really good. Can get it cheap too. And I do want to replay it as well, so I can say that with better than it's been 2 years since I played it, or 3. When did it come out? Well, no. When did the last DLC for it come out? The Storm one, because I played all the DLC, and did enjoy them. I mean, we'll see, because this game will also be getting DLC. Maybe some of those will improve it. I don't know if I will be getting the DLC. I might need to buy it, and I don't know. Haven't decided. Haven't thought about it too much either. Alright, let's just finish. I will say this about that the change between Just Cause 3 and 4 with how you claim a base in Just Cause 3 by destroying everything. That's not how it works here. Yeah, it's kind of nice to... That's how you get things, is you have to destroy everything, and then you can have it reset that location so you can do it again. That was nice. And also some of the locations were interesting and engaging to be in. So, yeah, Just Cause 3 is also a good game. Just Cause 4 is a good game, but you need to be expecting it to be another Just Cause game. Alright. You know, like turning on a sandstorm like it can right there, it doesn't feel that impactful. Anyway, you're not here for my opinion on that. You can always read the article. Alright. So I went through those options. That is where they will sit. And I just say that because in some other games, like, yeah, I can see that difference, but I'm actually going to go lower because it's like, yeah, I don't need it. Alright, that will do it for this. Wow, an hour and 40 minutes. It takes a while to go through this stuff. Alright, see you next time.